So how much does it actually cost to ride your motorcycle from the United States to South America? I'm Sunny.
And I'm Ferret.
And we are Sunny Ferret Adventures. And today we're going to talk about how much does it actually cost to ride your motorcycle from the US to South America. For us, we had 2 motorcycles, and our route consisted of starting in Washington State, heading down through Baja, Mexico, across the mainland Mexico, all the way down to Panama. Panama is where we shipped our motorcycle by air from Panama City to Colombia. Then we made our way down through Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, and Argentina. Your route may vary depending on what you want to see and where you want to go, but the general areas that you're going to be in, prices are going to moderately stay around the same.
We kept track of our daily expenses and broke them down into these categories: food and groceries, shipping and legal fees, fuel, accommodation, and extra expenses.
Our number one expense was food. Going out and experiencing the local food and culture is something that's very important to us. So that was one of our top expenses. Next was shipping and fees. This is shipping the motorcycles, entry and exit charges from countries, insurance, that sort of thing. Shipping your motorcycle from Panama to Colombia is definitely a large part of the expense. We paid $1,100 per bike for everything included in that. Our next expense was accommodation. Our accommodation was a mixture of camping, Airbnbs, hotels, basically everything in between. So we weren't stuck with a certain one. That's why we kind of sit in the general median range of from budget to luxury travel. With smaller expenses such as fuel, that was actually only 8% of our budget. Depending on the type of riding you do or the distances you do per day, that will change your daily expenses on fuel. For us, we're riding 2 motorcycles. One's a large CC motorcycle, the other one's a small CC motorcycle, so they kind of balance out in the middle. Another one of our smaller expenses was 9% of our budget was towards extras. This is things that you might not need regularly, such as new sunglasses, you run out of socks, clothing, other extra expenses that aren't on a regular. We also have at only 4%, which would be costs for sightseeing, tours, extra little things like that. We don't do a ton of that. We mostly just kind of do free sightseeing, so that wasn't a huge expense. But others, if you want to do a lot of those tourist activities, that might increase that cost. Based on the daily expenses we recorded on our trip, we kind of broke it down into daily cost to be on the road. From Mexico to Peru, we were around $114 a day. Chile and Argentina costs greatly increase. Those are closer from $150 a day to $200 a day. So when you get to those lower countries, expenses definitely increase. We found the cheapest country to travel in being Mexico, which was a surprise to us. As we went farther down, things seemed to get more and more expensive, but it was still relatively inexpensive. $114 a day for 2 motorcycles and 2 people traveling is still pretty cheap. Our trip took us about 6 months. For you, it could be shorter or it could be longer. It really is just personal preference and how much time you have. If you know how much your daily budget is going to be or your daily expenses, it can get you a better idea of how much the overall cost of the trip will be. Hopefully this helps you understand a little bit more on cost. And if you have any more questions, just leave them in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe.